outlined.
And we have a quorum present, physically present.
Huh?
We do have a quorum physically present.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Any discussion? All in favor? I have to do a roll call. I don't have to do a roll call because we haven't adopted
Can
it. So,
Can I,
it's five to nothing in favor, so. All right,
And then just for the record, I know there's nobody here for the public, but you gotta open a public comment portion and then
All
close
right.
a public comment portion, so.
is there any public comment in the audience? Seeing none. Next, we'll go on to the minutes.
I just have a question.
Yes,
Should it say the Rockport VPI committee rather than select board?
Yeah, so, well, that policy, that's
Mhm.
just the select board policy and what's on the screen right now that you should see.
Okay.
That's what's gonna be adopted into the bylaws for this committee, so that's the such
Okay.
meetings may be held in person. And that's what we're doing with all of the committees.
Okay.
okay. So next we have to approve our minutes. So I thought I printed out from copies. Yes, so we have, that came to us today, our VPI task force minutes from, our September 19th, 22nd. People want to take a minute to look them over. Why don't we do that for a couple of minutes and then we'll.
I have a recommendation on those that they reflect local time instead of California time, I believe.
Excellent point.
I'm a little tripped up on that. 'Cause I was like, Good catch. Let's keep it local. Yes.
Wouldn't it be 4:35?
4:35?
It was.
Yeah,
Oh,
3 hours.
4:35. There you go.
That's right, we started early.
Or was that 6? Did it end at 6:40 or 54?
5:54. Right.
Jet lag from that trip, right?
We know Dale Dowling is the correct name.
I changed it in this one,
Correction, yes.
Dowdy. Doughdy.
Those were direct quotes.
Okay,
So.
Probably have to change the time that Vicky left the meeting as well.
Good point.
So that's
Wow.
probably 5 o'clock instead of 2 o'clock.
I think that's pretty good. People need more time. Okay. Yeah, well, I think so. Make a motion?
Yeah. Something else.
Okay. Second.
Second is.
Any further discussion? Favor?
Well, actually, I wasn't there, so I shouldn't vote.
Yeah. Kim, you want to vote?
In favor?
Michelle, were you there, Michelle? Yeah,
Yeah.
It was, but can we vote? Can we now vote?
you can now, yeah.
We can, because okay,
Yeah.
yes, I was there, so yes, in favor with the amendments.
One thing, Vicky's name came up. One thing I'd like to do and do it now while Denise is here is I put together a little thank you note for her for writing this nice letter that's in our packet. So I'm gonna have Denise sign it and then we'll have other people sign it too. So the next item on the agenda here is the underground utilities, and is this, is there something new that's developed on that, Orion?
Give me 1 second. I think it was. Oh, this one. Nothing new really on this. It's been seen. I know, right on Main Street, which is down below, they're trying to bury these for the hotel, but other than that,
Right,
that's it.
well, I just didn't know if that reflected any any change from the plan that CMP gave us and that we're going to include with our PPI letter of intent.
Mm,
Okay, so we can move on to our PPI letter of intent. Orion can give us a little more detail, but
Yeah.
apparently he was working with Gorman, Palmer and Gorham,
Goral and Palmer, yeah.
who has a lot of experience with PPIs, and they reviewed this letter. They made some changes, some little additions to it.
Yep.
Do you want to take us through those?
Sure, yeah. So first and foremost, for the most part, they said this is a good letter. They said as it currently is, you'd probably do pretty well with it. So the only thing they could do is just add what other areas could we beef it up with.
Sure.
And so nothing in the introduction. They decided they proposed to take traffic calming out and just replace it with PPI, just for PPI study. They said a traffic calming study is too like focused, too pinpoint, but if you do PPI study, that kind of encompasses a little bit more. And anywhere it mentioned VPI, they added PPI with it, because our hope is that when we submit for the PPI, they'll take it to the VPI process, and that's their understanding of it. So I'll continue with this and then I'll go into another discussion I had with them.
Okay.
And they made just some subtle changes to it or amendments that you all can adopt into this.
And those are red.
Yep, everything in red here is what they've proposed.
The shoulders on both sides of the bridge, that reflects our Cadillac
Yeah.
drawing that we're gonna submit, so that's
Yeah.
good.
And then these recommendations here. I need to enlarge as I can. So Rockport would like to work with MDOT on a PPI study that considers safety and mobility improvements for all modes of transportation within the scope area and including a bridge area, provisions and recommendations for pedestrian, bicycles, on-street parking, traffic calming, access to businesses should be considered in this study. So pretty much a blanket statement of everything.
I like that there's some repetitiveness that we're continuing to bring up things
Yeah.
with each bullet point that we're reminding them. I like the changes or the recommendations.
And the only thing in here that they added that's a little bit different is the scope area. They say the PPI study should consider provisions for a sidewalk along West Street connecting the downtown area with the elementary and regional high school. They said by adding those into this mix, it would really rank us up a little bit higher with that because of MDOT's consideration for the schools and their walkability to that aspect.
You wanna make that correction to our map?
I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. So that was tied to the issue of the schools particularly,
Yeah.
or just showing that the scope is actually larger, that's in.
So the size of the scope does not matter. That wasn't it. It was more of, there's a school here that has no connectability.
Okay,
Like other than you can walk dangerously on Route 90,
yeah,
or you can get in a vehicle, drive, or get a bus or bike dangerously on a road.
yeah.
So that consideration and what NDOT's path is kind of going towards is the walkability and the bikeability considerations. So they said by including that in their experience with other PPIs they've done, it'll rank a little higher with what MDOT wants to do. So fingers crossed.
And then they want to delete the gray area.
So the underground utility, that just goes away as part of the PPI,
Underground utilities,
the greater.
no.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
So, yeah, according to Don, it'd be an outcome of the PPI study. So the study would then go into making those recommendations. So we're saying we want to do a study, a PPI study, and then that study is going to result in
I see.
Bearing
Sure
that.
to say.
What's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
next bullet down though, on the right-hand side? Typically, we're not funding for that type of work, so that's why they want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we sort of put that in there as a long shot.
Yeah, and we've still got it, we just might need to find something in the.
Yeah. Right, okay.
okay.
Right.
So with that, what do we want to do? Accept their,
Well, I'd look for a motion
Yeah.
to accept these changes.
So,
Before we do that, may I just ask a question, are we,
Let's get a second,
and then
Oh,
we can
I'm
discuss.
and
sorry.
then we can
Okay.
discuss.
okay, I want to discuss them, we're gonna do the recommendations first, but then can we talk about other things in the letter as well?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. So I'm happy
Please
to-
proceed.
I'm happy to second.
Okay. Now, is there discussion about the letter?
Letter looks great overall. I just had a question, I'm not, it's further up in the letter about the way we characterize the bridge, because I think there's some sensitivity within DOT on this, and I think we, in one of the paragraphs, we talk about, replacing the bridge or new bridge, and I think that being DOT, this is kind of a sensitive issue for them because, and I know we want to obviously shoot for the moon, but they've been clear that they're in the deciding phase of, like doing the engineering studies and deciding if they're going to do some renovations, and they've got the 4 options and whatever. So I wondered if that might be a little presumptuous, and if it might also,
You mean by the opening sentence that we're in a unique position of being scheduled to have our bridge replaced? Right.
yeah, because they've said, like, they've told us, the bridges that are being replaced are in places that have, far more
Mhm.
dangerous. So I think that unfortunately.
So we could find a different word. to
Well,
have
yeah, I think
problematic
so.
bridge addressed.
Yeah,
Possibility.
or, renovated, or even possibly replaced, or, just something like that, that is a little bit more of a hedge because,
Because it hasn't been scheduled to be replaced.
yeah, and it's a sensitive issue for them, judging from how they've, responded, so.
Should we just say being scheduled to possibly have its bridge replaced? Don't call it problematic and just say possibly.
Yeah, like maybe, I don't know, if you renovated or possibly replaced, or something like that.
Yeah, possibly replaced.
Yeah, I mean, that is in the realm of possibilities, definitely.
Strike the problematic bridge.
That was bridge renovated or possibly replaced.
Anything else? So the motion is to accept this letter with the changes suggested. As our final letter, that's gonna go to the MDOT. Okay? All in favor? Any comments from the distance people?
No,
No,
All in favor? So we do need to have a roll call vote because we're now things. So Denise,
Yes.
yes, MJ,
Yes.
Claire,
Yes.
Michelle,
yes,
and Kim.
yes,
Okay.
And yes,
Oh, and Ryan, yes, okay, so it was unanimous. All right, so, the next thing I'd like to have us take a look at is the letter that Vicky wrote. I think everybody has it in their packet. Does anyone have any comments on that?
I think it's wonderful.
I
Yeah.
agree. I think it's a great letter.
Yeah, it's just very nice. Okay, so do we have a motion to include this letter in our PPI packet?
So moved.
so move second,
Gotcha. Okay, any further discussion? Okay, a vote. Denise,
Yes.
Doug, yes, MJ.
Yes.
Claire, Claire, didn't hear you.
Yes, yes, sorry.
Michelle,
yes,
Kim,
Yes.
Ryan?
yes.
Okay, that's unanimous. Now, also in our packet, we had that, well, this is a question, we sort of dropped the CMP plan, so we don't need to include that. We originally had their engineering plan, so that gets scrapped.
Yep.
So there was one other thing that had to go in that packet.
Is that the Terry's?
Terry, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the Cadillac drawing. Which I think people remember, they had all these. And this is the one again that will show the sidewalk on both sides of the bridge. So,
Yeah, so this whole packet shows several different options, but what we're gonna
we're
attach.
just gonna send the one that we call the Cadillac. We're gonna shoot for the moon. Yes, schematic option number 2, thank you.
Schematic option number
And
2.
maybe we don't,
This one?
Yes, 2 sidewalks, 2 bike lanes, and 2 vehicular travel lanes. Yeah.
Can I just look at it again?
Yes, absolutely.
We have a section in the letter that explains this. I don't,
Well,
Good point.
no, we don't.
because it also might be,
it just comes out of nowhere.
you're right, we should probably have a
That's an excellent point.
couple sentences just explaining that it's a.
Let's go to the bridge. Or do we
You
do
wanna-
it as a recommendation?
I was gonna say we could have it as a recommendation on an attachment.
This,
Yeah.
this particular plan assumes that the bridge is being redone.
Yep.
Expanded.
Yep.
Entirely, so.
So look up, on the, we'll talk about the underground utilities, it's just not gonna be one of our bullet points.
Yep.
Correct.
Okay.
So in the recommendations, we should put this, that you're talking about?
Yeah, yeah, why don't we just simply say that task force supports the schematic option number 2.
Or I mean,
All right.
See, attached is a schematic.
Attached, that's schematic option number 2.
I know, I feel like I almost don't even want to know there's an option 1.
Oh, that's a good one. That's an excellent one.
Included in the application is a drawing.
Yeah,
Exactly.
there you go.
I just have a question with respect to this. It does kind of call the question about, you know, the existing width of the bridge and the fact that Maine DOT has said that the, you know, if it's a deck replacement, there really is.
Well, we have gotten some winks indicating that DOT does plan to replace the bridge. I mean, I understand I'm not saying it's a guarantee or any of that, but there's a higher than 50% likelihood that that's the direction they're headed in. So I don't think we have to pussyfoot around too much where we
But
heard.
when did that happen?
Well, it's just in discussions, John. Not anything. So again, I'm not saying that publicly they've made that decision.
Yeah.
They still have a process. I'm just saying we don't need to
Okay.
get too worried about
Okay,
being careful to not say what we all really want to see happen.
yeah, well,
Because otherwise,
yeah,
It sort of is our best shot then.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can
no,
come
I
back
I don't
to
think
us.
it,
get it.
yeah, they're not gonna say, "Oh, we're about to give you the
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, well then, see, I was not aware of that.
Well, and I'm not saying, I mean, that's just
Yeah, because then that would,
my view, I mean, the top and the bottom are bad. Maybe the
Yeah.
middle's okay, well,
Right.
it's back to.
yeah.
So,
Okay, that's, I did not have that piece. I was
Yeah.
not aware.
Can you go back to the bullet then to see what we're gonna say? I wonder too, in our enclosure, can we somehow white that out up top?
I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it.
Either
Goose River Bridge
electronically or
schematic,
scissors.
and I'll block this off.
I would just say Goose River Bridge schematic and
Yep.
get rid of
All that
all of that stuff, yeah.
I'll do.
I didn't hear all of that, but I just want to confirm that we're only sending in that option number 2. We're not sending in all 3. Is that
That's
correct?
correct. That's
Okay,
correct.
thank you.
and we're changing the heading so it doesn't lead you to ask about all these other options.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's great, whoever ideas that was.
Task force supports the attached schematic.
Designed for the Goose River Bridge. Can I see that? Okay, so. Do we have a motion to accept the schematic as amended?
Yeah, I guess I'd just take out the page 4.
Yeah. Okay.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second,
Okay, any further discussion? Claire?
No,
Okay,
no, that clarification was helpful.
okay,
I was not aware.
vote Denise,
Yes.
Doug, yes, MJ?
Yes.
Claire? Michelle?
Yes.
Kim?
yes.
Very good, so
Yes.
as far as I'm concerned, we now have a, yeah, sorry. But as far as I'm concerned, we now have a complete packet. And just clarify it for me, do you want to make a cover page? Town
We can make a cover
Rockport
page.
VPI, and then you'll send this off?
I'll do that.
Please
I'll,
send it to.
I think it's Steve Cole, so I send it to,
Okay,
but I'll CC the Dale Downey guy on there as well. But, what I'll do is I'll put the package together, send it to everybody so you can see it. If you see any major issues, tell me. And then, I'll send it by end of this week.
now,
Would
let's,
that with CC Vicky Dudera?
Yeah, okay.
oh, yeah, that's a
They
good
see that.
idea.
Okay.
Okay. You wanted to say something about the traffic calming study. We do have some prices,
Yeah, I
That's
do,
still active.
but before we go into that, so that we talked about taking the recommendation to remove the underground utility line. So this number 6, underground utility, should we
That
strike
should be
this?
struck off.
Okay, yeah. That works with what we've already approved too. So, yeah, let me, so on pricing for traffic
Yeah,
calming
sure,
study,
thanks.
see you later. Is that what you were asking?
Well, it's on the agenda here.
Yeah.
Um, you know, do we still want to pursue some sort of a traffic calming study on our own for Pascal Avenue that,
Well,
because we struck it from our letter.
so it'll cost around 20,000. This is what a traffic calming study would cost. Around 20K, but depending on what the PPI really goes into in that study
Yeah.
with MDOT, we might do something a little more broader than a traffic calming study. So
But it's not in this KPI.
no, but they take the traffic calming study portion of it out. It's just PPI study.
So that would
Oh.
include potentially.
Yeah.
traffic calming study.
Yeah, that was one of their recommendations to it.
Okay. There's somewhere in there, the Gore or whatever, I think it was 30,000 and then the town would pay half of it. As part of this whole project, 15,000.
They told you 30.
No, they told you, I think it was in a,
I think that's what I have for the minutes.
oh, right, in the
30
minutes, yeah.
With, 50% share of successful.
Well, the 50/50 is correct. I thought he said 20, but he could have said, maybe it was a range 20 to 30, and I told y'all 30, so we aim on that side.
Yeah, it's the second to last paragraph in the minutes.
And that's what it is.
Oh, well, you know what it was? It was John that was there.
Oh, John would have said it.
Yeah. Engineering. department. Or Ryan's wondering where did that come from?
Yeah. Well, 30 is still a good number to aim for. We'll have more money. But no,
Will there be more than one bid if we bid it? Or,
if we get, once we go through this process with MDOT, then yeah, we'd have to do the purchasing agreement, and I think that one would qualify for a bid.
Yeah.
So we'd have to go out because of the size of it. Yeah. So who knows who would submit for it?
Do we have any other business to come before us tonight?
I don't believe so, but I can talk a little bit more about this VPI stuff that I talked over with Goral and Palmer, because I wanted to know if they're working on any. They're currently in the process of working on a few, and so they kind of gave us an idea of what their interpretation of it is, which was what I was discussing earlier. Like, we'll submit for a PPI, and depending on how MDOT views that, they might just put it over into the VPI. So it's not like we apply for a PPI and then they say, yeah, this is good, and then we reapply for a VPI. They
That was
understand.
Never very clear.
No, it's not clear at all. And so they understand it from their reading of it, and they're pretty confident that we apply for PPI. And then if MDOT likes it and feels it's in their VPI portion, then it just gets plugged in. Then the determination of the large or small is established. So we've got a couple of steps ahead of us still, but it's not bad.
You had the sense that they thought it was reasonable, our approach, and
Yeah, they felt it was reasonable.
Yeah.
They definitely did. How are we gonna, rank in it? They have no
Yeah,
idea,
yeah,
but
right,
but
okay.
they feel it's a good project. It's a good application.
Well, that's encouraging.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other new business or old business?
I'm gonna sign off. I've got school pickup that I have to go to. So I will look for the next meeting in my email.
Well,
Okay.
we may not even need to have one,
Okay,
but you will send it to you.
okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, your shoelace is untied.
Bye.
Okay. So that is the question for this group. I mean, Orion's gonna put the packet together. He'll send it to us. Do we need to have another meeting right now? or wait till we hear something back. I love meetings, but I'm not a big fan of meetings, if you know what I mean.
Do we have a sense for what the time frame is on a response?
It's rolling. So as they get an application, they'll go through that review process. In terms of their turnaround time, I have no idea.
They have to have questions of us. Could you clarify this, clarify that, or they're just?
I think they'll get to that if they really like the project. So we'll see.
Wait to hear. And then,
Oh, yeah, no, I'll definitely keep you.
yeah,
I mean, I can't think of what we would
But then-
talk about if
then-
we hadn't heard anything back. from
yeah,
them.
exactly, so wait for that,
Mhm.
then set a meeting.
Can do.
Okay. Tim, how does that sound to you?
That sounds fine.
Good deal.
All right, anything else that anyone wants to bring up? Motion to adjourn. Okay, meeting is adjourned. I'll vote. Tim, I hope you feel better.
Yeah.
soon.
Thank you. I'm not horrible. I just got wicked chills before the meeting.
Yeah,
Oh.
I hope the cruise was worth it.
Oh, it was worth every minute. Oh my God, I had a hell of a good time.
Great. Good.
Yeah, maybe we just got some bad ice or something.
No, I didn't.
Okay. All righty, thanks for
Thank you.
soldiering on here. All right, folks, well, good. We accomplished something.
Packet.
Definitely.
Yeah. We took on a task, fulfilled our responsibility, and now we wait.
Oops. Kim, see you later.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Take care.
Better. Here you go, Doug.
Oh, yeah, thank you.